Two tropical paradises, both claiming to offer the perfect island escape. But here's what nobody tells you. One of these destinations will give you luxury for less than your monthly Netflix subscription, while the other might require you to sell a kidney just to afford a beach chair. I compared every single aspect, from accommodation costs to street food prices, and the results genuinely shocked me. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which destination deserves your hard-earned money and why one of these islands is secretly ripping tourists off while the other is practically giving away paradise. Let me be completely transparent about what happened when I started researching this comparison. Everyone kept telling me Java was the budget traveler's dream. But then I looked at actual Malaysia prices and realized something massive. The internet has been lying to us. These two destinations aren't even playing in the same league when it comes to value for money. And before you think this is just another travel comparison where someone lists random facts, I'm breaking down real numbers, actual experiences from travelers on the ground right now, and showing you the hidden costs that travel blogs conveniently forget to mention. Let's start with the one thing that makes or break any trip: accommodation. In Java, specifically in places like Yogyakarta and Solo, you can find decent hostels for around 80,000 to 150,000 Indonesian rupiah per night. That translates to roughly 5 to 10 US dollars. Sounds incredible, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Those budget places often come with cold showers, questionable Wi-Fi, and bed bugs that treat your skin like an all-you-can-eat buffet. Mid-range hotels in Java run between 300,000 to 600,000 rupiah, which is about $20 to $40 per night. These places give you air conditioning, hot water, and breakfast that won't send you running to the nearest pharmacy. Now flip over to Malaysia. In Penang or Malacca, budget hostels start at around 25 to 40 Malaysian ringgit per night, converting to approximately 6 to 9 US dollars. Almost identical to Java, right? But here's the twist. Malaysian budget accommodation standards are noticeably higher. You're getting hot showers as standard, reliable Wi-Fi strong enough to actually stream videos, and cleanliness levels that won't make your mother cry. Mid-range hotels in Malaysia cost between 150 to 300 ringgit, roughly $35 to $70. Yes, that's more expensive than Java, but you're getting swimming pools, complimentary breakfast buffets with actual variety, and rooms that look like they've been cleaned this decade. The accommodation winner isn't as clear-cut as you'd think. Java wins on pure price, but Malaysia crushes it on value for money. Food is where things get absolutely wild. Java's street food scene is legendary for a reason. You can grab nasi gudeg in Yogyakarta for 15,000 rupiah, about $1. Sate ayam costs around 20,000 rupiah, and a massive portion of nasi goreng runs you maybe 25,000 rupiah. We're talking full meals that cost less than a cappuccino at Starbucks. Local warungs serve complete meals with rice, vegetables, protein, and sambal for 30,000 to 50,000 rupiah, which is $2 to $3.50. That's absurdly cheap. But let's talk about Malaysia's food situation, because this is where opinions get heated. Penang's famous char kway teow costs around 7 to 10 ringgit, roughly $1.60 to $2.30. Nasi lemak, Malaysia's national breakfast, runs between 5 to 8 ringgit depending on how fancy you want it. A plate of chicken rice in Malacca costs about 8 to 12 ringgit, which is $1.80 to $2.70. Slightly more expensive than Java, but here's what nobody mentions. Portion sizes in Malaysia are genuinely larger, and the variety is mind-blowing. Malaysia's food diversity demolishes Java's. In a single Malaysian food court, you'll find Malay food, Chinese food, Indian food, and fusion combinations that shouldn't work, but somehow do. Java's food is delicious, authentic, and deeply traditional, but you're eating variations of similar flavor profiles meal after meal. Malaysia gives you roti canai for breakfast, char kway teow for lunch, and banana leaf rice for dinner, all in the same day, all from different culinary traditions. Coffee culture reveals another fascinating divide. Java's traditional kopi costs around 5,000 to 10,000 rupiah, less than $1 for a cup. It's strong, sweet, and served in small glasses that pack a caffeine punch. Modern cafes in Jakarta or Bandung charge 35,000 to 50,000 rupiah for specialty coffee, about $2.50 to $3.50. Malaysia's traditional kopitiam coffee costs 2 to 3 ringgit, roughly 50 to 70 cents. Modern cafes in Kuala Lumpur or Georgetown charge 12 to 18 ringgit for specialty drinks, around $2.70 to $4. Pretty comparable, but Malaysia's cafe culture feels more developed and widespread. Transportation costs separate these destinations dramatically. In Java, local buses and angkot rides cost 3,500 to 5,000 rupiah, literally less than 50 cents. Grab rides in cities like Surabaya or Yogyakarta run 15,000 to 30,000 rupiah for short distances, about $1 to $2. Long-distance trains between major cities cost 100,000 to 300,000 rupiah depending on class, which is $7 to $20. That's incredibly affordable for distances that can span hundreds of kilometers. Malaysia's public transportation, especially in Kuala Lumpur, is significantly more modern and efficient. The LRT and MRT train systems charge 1 to 5 ringgit per journey depending on distance, about 25 cents to $1.15. Buses cost similar amounts. Grab rides in Malaysian cities run higher, usually 10 to 25 ringgit for short trips, which is $2.30 to $5.70. Long-distance buses between cities like Kuala Lumpur and Penang cost 30 to 60 ringgit, around $7 to $14. More expensive than Java, but you're traveling in coaches with working air conditioning and seats that don't feel like medieval torture devices. Here's something crucial that changes everything: travel time efficiency. Getting around Java takes forever. Traffic in Jakarta is apocalyptic. What should be a 10-kilometer journey can take 2 hours during peak times. Trains between cities are cheap but slow, and infrastructure hasn't caught up with the tourism boom. Malaysia's infrastructure, especially in peninsular Malaysia, is leagues ahead. Highways are well maintained, trains run on schedule, and you can actually plan your day without losing 3 hours to unexpected traffic chaos. Attractions and activities reveal the real personality difference between these destinations. Java's main draws are cultural and historical. Borobudur temple entrance costs 450,000 rupiah for foreigners, about $30. Prambanan Temple costs 350,000 rupiah, roughly $23. These prices are steep compared to local costs, but you're accessing UNESCO World Heritage sites that rank among the most impressive ancient structures in Southeast Asia. Mount Bromo tours run between 400,000 to 800,000 rupiah depending on what's included, about $27 to $54. These experiences are deeply rooted in Java's Hindu-Buddhist heritage and offer something genuinely unique. Malaysia's attractions are more diverse but often pricier. The Petronas Towers observation deck costs 85 ringgit, around $19. Cameron Highlands tea plantation tours run 150 to 300 ringgit depending on what's included, about $34 to $68. Beach activities in places like Langkawi or the Perhentian Islands cost more because Malaysia has positioned itself as a more upscale destination. Snorkeling trips run 150 to 250 ringgit, roughly $34 to $57. But here's where Malaysia pulls ahead massively: accessibility and tourist infrastructure. Malaysia has embraced tourism with open arms and built systems that actually work. English is widely spoken, tourist information is readily available, and you won't spend half your vacation feeling confused or lost. Java offers authentic, raw experiences, but you'll work harder for them. Fewer people speak English outside major tourist areas, information can be scarce, and you need more patience and flexibility. Nightlife and entertainment show another clear winner. Java's nightlife centers around Jakarta and Bandung, with clubs charging 100,000 to 200,000 rupiah cover charges, about $7 to $14. Drinks inside run 50,000 to 100,000 rupiah, around $3.50 to $7. Outside these cities, nightlife barely exists. Java is conservative, and evening entertainment leans heavily toward food markets and cultural performances. Malaysia's nightlife, especially in Kuala Lumpur and Penang, is vibrant and diverse. Clubs charge 30 to 60 ringgit cover, about $7 to $14, similar to Java. But the variety is incomparable. You've got rooftop bars with skyline views, beach clubs, jazz bars, comedy clubs, and entertainment options for every taste. Drinks cost 20 to 40 ringgit, roughly $4.50 to $9, slightly higher than Java, but with better quality and ambiance. Shopping experiences differ radically. Java's traditional markets offer batik, wayang puppets, and handicrafts at bargaining-friendly prices. A quality batik shirt costs 150,000 to 300,000 rupiah, about $10 to $20 after negotiation. Modern malls in Jakarta stock international brands at prices comparable to or slightly cheaper than Malaysia. But outside major cities, shopping options narrow significantly. Malaysia's shopping scene is phenomenal. Kuala Lumpur has world-class malls like Pavilion and Surya KLCC, where you'll find every international brand imaginable. Traditional markets like Central Market in KL offer crafts and souvenirs at reasonable prices. Penang's street markets sell everything from electronics to knockoff designer goods. The shopping infrastructure simply outclasses Java across the board. Healthcare access matters more than most travelers realize. Java has decent medical facilities in major cities, with private hospitals charging 300,000 to 500,000 rupiah for basic consultations, about $20 to $34. Medications are cheap and pharmacies are everywhere. But if you need serious medical attention, you want to be in a major city. Malaysia's healthcare system is genuinely world-class. Private hospitals in Kuala Lumpur rival anything in Western countries, with consultations costing 100 to 200 ringgit, roughly $23 to $45. Medical tourism is a massive industry here because Malaysians have built infrastructure and quality that people trust. If something goes wrong on your trip, you want to be in Malaysia, not rural Java. Internet connectivity and digital infrastructure highlight a massive gap. Java's Wi-Fi is inconsistent even in supposedly good hotels. Mobile data works, but expect dead zones and frustrating speeds. If you need reliable internet for work or staying connected, you'll struggle outside Jakarta. Malaysia's internet infrastructure is excellent. 4G coverage is widespread, 5G is rolling out in major cities, and Wi-Fi in accommodations actually works. If you're a digital nomad or need consistent connectivity, Malaysia wins without question. Weather patterns affect these destinations differently. Java has a tropical climate with a wet season from November to March and a dry season from April to October. The wet season brings serious rainfall that can disrupt travel plans and make outdoor activities miserable. Humidity stays high year-round, and coastal areas feel oppressively hot. Malaysia's climate varies by region, but generally experiences less extreme seasonal variation. The West Coast's rainy season differs from the East Coast, giving you year-round options for beach destinations. Temperatures are hot, but feel more manageable thanks to better air conditioning infrastructure and more indoor facilities. Safety considerations show interesting patterns. Java is generally safe for tourists, but petty theft occurs in crowded areas and tourist hotspots. Scams targeting foreigners are common, especially around major attractions. Solo female travelers report more harassment in Java compared to Malaysia. Traffic accidents are a genuine concern because road safety standards are lower. Malaysia feels noticeably safer. Petty crime exists, but occurs less frequently. Police presence is more visible, and authorities take tourist safety seriously. Solo female travelers generally report feeling more comfortable. Road safety is better, and traffic rules are more consistently followed. Language barriers impact your experience significantly. Indonesian uses a phonetic alphabet, and basic phrases are easy to learn, but English proficiency outside tourist areas is limited. Expect lots of hand gestures and translation app usage. Malaysia's multilingual population means English is widely spoken, especially in tourist areas and cities. Signage includes English translations, and communication is simply easier. This might not matter if you're adventurous and patient, but it dramatically improves comfort levels for most travelers. Visa requirements favor Malaysia for many nationalities. Indonesia offers visa on arrival for many countries but charges 500,000 rupiah, about $35 for a 30-day stay. Extensions are possible but involve bureaucracy. Malaysia offers visa-free entry for many nationalities for up to 90 days. Less hassle, more flexibility, and no upfront costs. Beach quality deserves special attention because this influences many travel decisions. Java's beaches, particularly on the south coast, are rugged and beautiful but not ideal for swimming. Strong currents and large waves make them dangerous. North Coast beaches are often polluted and disappointing. Java isn't really a beach destination despite being an island. Malaysia's beaches on islands like Langkawi, Redang, and the Perhentians are genuinely world-class. White sand, clear water, and excellent snorkeling and diving. If beaches factor heavily in your travel plans, Malaysia dominates completely. Cultural immersion opportunities favor Java substantially. Java is deeply traditional, with ceremonies, festivals, and daily rituals visible everywhere. You'll witness gamelan performances, traditional dance, and spiritual practices that have continued for centuries. The culture feels alive and accessible. Malaysia offers cultural experiences but feels more modern and westernized. You'll find cultural pockets and can absolutely engage with Malay, Chinese, and Indian traditions, but it feels more curated and less omnipresent than in Java. Environmental concerns show troubling patterns in both destinations. Java struggles with pollution, plastic waste, and overcrowding in tourist areas. Infrastructure hasn't kept pace with visitor numbers, and environmental degradation is visible. Malaysia handles environmental challenges better in tourist areas, but plastic pollution remains an issue. National parks and protected areas show stronger conservation efforts. The final consideration: overall trip cost for 1 week. Budget travelers in Java can survive on $30 to $40 per day, including accommodation, food, and local transport. That's $210 to $280 for a week before flights. Mid-range travelers spending $60 to $80 per day are looking at $420 to $560 weekly. Budget travelers in Malaysia need $40 to $55 daily, totaling $280 to $385 weekly. Mid-range travelers spending $80 to $120 daily face costs of $560 to $840 per week. Malaysia costs roughly 30 to 40% more than Java for comparable experiences. So which destination wins? Java wins on pure budget considerations. If money is extremely tight and you want to stretch every dollar to its absolute limit, Java delivers incredible value. You'll eat well, see amazing things, and experience authentic culture for prices that seem impossible. But you'll sacrifice comfort, convenience, and infrastructure quality. Malaysia wins on virtually every other metric: food diversity, transportation efficiency, infrastructure quality, safety, healthcare, internet connectivity, beach quality, and ease of travel. You pay more, but you get substantially more in return. The experience is smoother, more comfortable, and less stressful. Here's my honest take. If you're a backpacker in your 20s seeking adventure and willing to rough it, Java offers incredible experiences at unbeatable prices. If you're traveling with family, value your time and comfort, or need reliable infrastructure, Malaysia is worth every extra dollar. These aren't competing destinations. They're serving different travelers with different priorities. The real question isn't which is better, but which matches what you actually want from your trip. Choose based on your travel style, not just your budget.